episode of Value This with Dr. Lori, we're going to put Carol to the test. So we've got some chairs. You can play along. We've got some chairs. Put them in order chronologically, oldest to youngest.
Oldest to youngest.
And you're going to start on that side. So
okay.
Oldest to youngest.
All right.
This is a Windsor chair.
Okay.
With what's sometimes called a rosette or a fan curl.
Okay. All right.
This is a Queen Anne chair.
Because of the legs.
Because of the legs. Those are cabriole legs on a Queen Anne chair, like Queen Anne, right? England. This is a Chippendale style chair.
Not Chippendale, but
Not Chippendale. Right. Okay. Not Chippendale, but Chippendale.
All right, got it.
Thomas Chippendale.
Okay. And that one
And that one is a oak chair.
An oak chair.
Yep.
Okay.
Carved.
I'm going to say that
Oldest.
this is oldest.
That one's oldest.
Then this one.
Then that one.
Then
Chippendale.
this one. Then this one.
Then Queen Anne. Totally wrong.
Thank you.
That would be an
Thank
F
you,
for
Dr.
Carol.
Lori.
Good job.
Okay, so what is it?
They actually are in their order.
Oh.
Yeah, a little tricky. So this, like when I used to teach at Penn State, the linebackers, multiple choice is easier,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
This one is your Windsor chair.
Okay.
This is your typical late 18th century Windsor with a saddle seat. Carol loves and rides horses, so she's used to a saddle seat.
Right.
So a saddle seat basically has that nice indentation inside.
Right.
This is called a fan chair. On the back looks like a fan, and these spindles, everything in my house is spindles. It's a pain in the neck to dust. Spindles.
So don't bother.
So don't bother, right?
Yeah.
Windsor chair. This was painted at one point. You can actually see some of the paint and the residue of the paint. See the green paint? At the bottom. Do you see that? So I want you to start to look at objects and start to look at these pieces. The more you educate your eyeballs and look at pieces, the more you'll have an understanding of that.
This looks like, is that real or did they just put them there to make
No,
them?
peg construction, very nicely
How old
done.
is this chair?
This chair is the latter part, early 1800s. So late 1700s, early 1800s.
Wow.
This is a real antique, nice chair. Now, couple of things. You'll notice that this is a carved piece. Remember I talk about the oils on our hands?
Right.
This is where you usually see oil residue.
Okay.
Where we put our hands down on chairs. The next chair is a reproduction chair. Reproduction chairs, these two, but they're in a very, very, very important style. This is your typical Queen Anne style with cabriole legs, and this is your typical Chippendale style with what's called a backsplat. Here's how I want you to be able to tell, because this is what mixes people up all the time. I want you to look at the back of the chair. Do you see this carved form
Yes.
that looks like a vase?
Yes.
Do you see this carved form that looks like a vase?
With holes in it.
With holes in it, but do you see the vase?
Yes.
Okay, two vases, very typical. I want you to, and this is right from the Yale Art Gallery where I used to work, I want you to look not at the positive space of the wood, but I want you to look at the negative space and look at the two birds in profile looking at each other. Do you see the two birds?
Oh, yes, now I do. Okay.
There it is. Takes a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. And here, do you see this beak? Also two birds. Much more decorative is Chippendale. Much simpler is Queen Anne. Okay. These are our late 18th century style, early 19th century style chairs. Okay, fine. Now, chairs are like people. They have seats, they have arms, they have shoulders, they have ears, right? They have legs and feet.
Never thought of it that way.
So, and ergonomically, does that chair feel comfortable to you?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, not bad. Is that one more comfortable to you?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Because you have an upholstered cushion versus, of course, the hard bottom chair. Okay. Now, comfort has to do with ergonomic correctness. That means, how's your body going to feel in the chair? 19 inches from the floor is usually a very good number for typical dining room chairs. If you're sitting there with Aunt Millie at Easter and we're going on 4 hours of Easter dinner, it's good to be in an upholstered chair that's about 16 inches.
Or an
19
ejector
inches.
chair.
Or an ejector chair for the family. That's what you want to think about. These are very, very nice examples, beautiful examples. This is what we see a lot of. This is the early 20th century oak chair. It is actually carved out with something called a pyrography stick. It's burned out, not hand carved, but burned out. You see them in Germany, you see them in England, you see them in America. It's solid oak. Another tip for chairs, remember the grain, not the stain. This is an oak chair, stained to look darker. Okay?
Yeah, and
So-
brown furniture is like falling on.
When it comes to this kind of furniture, you want to think about what the chair's use will be. That, to me, is sort of a corner kitchen chair, and many people are putting chairs together different types and different styles of chairs from different time periods at your kitchen table.
A chair that's from about 1800, what would you value that at?
That chair is probably worth somewhere around $1,200 retail.
Okay, and that oak one from the...
Probably somewhere around $250 to $300.
And these two?
And those two are nice reproductions. So now you've got a different situation. This could be a $700 chair retail, even though it's a reproduction. So they're saying, oh, brown furniture is falling out of favor, but basically people are mixing and matching. Sometimes it's reproduction, sometimes the real thing. You've got to know the value, but you've got to be able to identify it properly first. And that's why you want to make sure that you're shopping in reputable places.
Okay, give me the quiz again. This time I'll pass.
Okay.
Dr. Lori, thanks so much. Where can we find more information?
At drloriv.com. And right here, lots of videos right here with Carol and I on Value This with Dr. Lori.
Okay, had a great time here. One of a kind consignment gallery that's in Princeton is just terrific in here. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll sit down now.
Okay. Take a load off.